Hello, everyone. Joining me once again today is writer Jacob Moylan, aka Jacob Wordsmith. How are you,
Hey
Jacob?
everybody,
How are you today?
I am fantastic if not better. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having a nice chill day, which is great. I've had the house to myself all day, which is always a massive plus.
Ah, wonderful. I miss those.
So, Jacob, you write and I guess perform a podcast.
I do, yes. It's called Baile na Gótrin, and basically what it is it's like if you've ever the short answer is if you've ever watched The Twilight Zone, Twin Peaks, Welcome to Night Vale, it's that sort of town. If The longer answer is imagine there was a tiny, tiny village where Irish mythology lives, and they live alongside other people. And because this is such a normal thing, um, you might be two doors down from the Fae, and you might just borrow a cup of sugar for them or something like that. And that's the kind of town that Ballynagotran is. And the entire show is based around a radio station, community radio station, where the host Barry Biev talks about the daily dealings of what a town like this would go through. So sometimes it might be like in a small town, somebody new has moved in and you're curious about it, but sometimes a witch is missing her familiar or something like that. And it sort of intertwines the sort of close-knit and mundane community with the supernatural, the terrible, the horror and the fantastical.
Yeah, I've listened to the first two episodes and I really like the tone of the show. I really like the vibe. And the name, where did you get the name from? Is that an actual place in Ireland or is this completely made up?
So no, it's completely made up, but Nagotran, the last two words of it, is actually an anagram of Tir na Nog. It took
Ah.
me ages to work that out. Ages. But I managed it eventually. I wanted it to be an anagram of something. Like I've littered loads of anagrams and codes and passwords throughout the
Yeah.
whole series. Because I felt like because when I'm making this, literally the only reason I made it was because I thought it'd be cool if somebody else made this. So I would lose my mind if there was anagrams in the show, or if there was a Caesar cipher somewhere and you get hints about what's coming in the next episode or something like that. So I put them in for other people like me.
Awesome. So you like that kind of thing?
I absolutely love them to bits. I remember once, I think last year, I found a YouTube video with no name, and all it was a passcode on it, and then that code led you to a different video, which led you to a different video. I didn't care what was at the end of it, just the fact that I was hunting for something, finding something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'd have to amp up my knowledge of different codes and different passwords and all that. Um,
Bit of fun.
yeah, yeah. I need to hunt for something.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, I totally get that.
Mm.
So when did you first begin the show? How long has it been going for now?
Like about over a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, You see, the reason it was made was because I was very, very sick with something I'm not entirely sure what it was.
Hmm.
Some of the theories are it was stress and allergy, something like that. But
Yeah.
basically, I wasn't keeping food in my body long enough to absorb its nutrients, which
Right.
meant I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And on top of that, there was an astounding level of stress mounting me because I had three or four bereavements, not death, not they weren't all deaths, but they were bereavements
Hmm.
within the space of 2 years. So
Oh
that
man.
on top of being so sick that I couldn't wash myself, that I couldn't shave, that I couldn't get out of bed. I remember one day putting on my shoes and realizing that the weight of my shoes was far too heavy for me to actually lift my legs.
No way.
So yeah, it was so dry. I've never been so disgusting, so sick, so sad in my life.
Oh man, I'm so
And
sorry to hear that.
yeah, it wasn't fun. And while I had doctors looking after my physical health, I had to look after my mental health because when you're in that sort of scenario, you have to keep your mind going.
Yeah.
And I did all the Netflix shows, I played all the games, I read all the books, and eventually what was happening was um I was losing interest in them all. And that is a huge red flag. I see that in anybody if they lose interest in everything that they like doing, you know?
Yeah, that's a
So,
massive issue. Yeah.
yeah. So, as a last ditch effort, my family got me a microphone for a different project that is on hiatus at the moment. And I was finished watching this show called the Kirlian Frequency, which is the same principle as Baile na Gótrin, except for in Argentina. And after finishing it, I'm like, I could do that. So I just started writing and I just started recording, and it was the only thing I was interested in.
Yeah.
And because of that, I absolutely dove into it. And my sickness kind of helped because I was in too much pain to sleep. But this meant I could put in my 100 hours, my 1,000 hours very, very quickly. And like first couple of days, I just stayed up and studied copyright law to know what I can use and what I can't.
Mm.
And then, how to mix, how to level, all that jazz. And it kept me going, it kept me occupied. And not only that, but it was for a very long time. I've been writing, doing shows, doing gigs, doing competitions, and every time for the last couple, God knows how long, I've always written with a spectator in mind. So it's always been to impress a judge or an audience or a
Yeah.
person, right? It's like a chef working in a chipper. They're always making quarter pounders for everybody else. This one, I didn't care. And I know it sounds weird and cruel,
No,
but I
no,
wasn't thinking
I
about
totally
it.
understand that. I think some of my best work, I write it for me first, and then maybe I'll compromise to make it more accessible to other people. And I find that's
Yeah,
my best. I find it is a bit of a compromise because at the end of the day, people have to like it and buy it if you want to do this.
yeah,
But first and foremost, my projects always start with me just wanting to write what I want to write and then seeing from there.
yeah. I hadn't done that in years, and this was the first one where I started to do that again, and I fell in love with a thing because I'm like, if my neighbor was doing this, I would lose my damn mind that they were doing this. I wanted every episode as soon as possible. I wanted all the codes, passwords. I wanted to know what happens. I wanted to know if there was going to be a season two, and all that kept my mind going while I got better. And now what I've done is I've made a full recovery, and I made this thing. And what's nuts is people are loving it, which is crazy to me because like all it was me occupying the time because I was in too much pain to sleep, and I'd have to wait till like 6 a.m. for my body to shut itself down. But now people are going, I'm getting texts and calls about fan theories about this.
Hmm,
Like I'm getting people going, here, is that fellow death? Or like, is this person really that person?
that's
And
fantastic.
to have something that I made and people liking it. Because in my mind, what this is it's just like playing all the games or reading all the books. I'm occupying my time and I'm trying to keep above water. It, it's
Yeah,
like a streamer who's just playing games and then people go, that is amazing stuff. Do it again.
yeah.
So the fact that people are loving this is like blown away, like forever blown away. Like,
Yeah, well, I certainly plan on watching a lot more episodes, and they're not too long, so they're not like a big time investment. So anyone who's kind of thinking about jumping in, like absolutely jump in. Like the first episode's only how long?
7 minutes.
Seven
So
minutes.
like a cup of tea, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I was like, I was on my break. I was like, oh, this would be a great time to listen to one. True
mm,
Law, really enjoyed it. Went straight to the next one. So I believe the first one was called Tax Evasion, and then
observation, yes.
uh,
Um,
The
but also
Familiar.
as well, it is a horror show. I really have to specify that, and it is not for kids. I keep forgetting to mention this, and then people listen are going. But also as well, everyone who felt that it was too creepy or couldn't listen to it, I can tell you exactly. They all dropped out after 19 seconds. Because
Yeah,
after the,
the
the the
intro.
first card comes in and then the theme song, they go, nope, nope, not for
Yeah.
me. Oh, there are braver people and they are not me, and that's fine. And I'm like, that's perfectly okay. But the fact that they like drop out before 20 seconds kind of is a testament to how creepy and weird this whole town is.
That's what you must see that as some sort of victory writing a horror show.
Just a little bit, just a tiny,
Yeah,
tiny little
yeah,
bit. But and then they're going, I'm so sorry, I can't. And I'm like, hey, look, it's a horror show. If you're not into horror or not into creepiness, then it's not your vibe. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
don't,
like, yeah, you
yeah.
fell off.
Just say, just recommended someone who's brave enough to watch it. Just kind of really
Mm.
like needle them.
Yeah, yeah, guilt them into it. Like,
Yeah. Um,
I thought you liked me, you know, but
if you wrote a horror show, I'd watch it.
yeah,
I'd watch yours.
yeah.
So how many episodes have you done now?
At the moment, there are 17 and a half. There's a little bonus episode at the end.
Oh, very
And the
cool.
last episode is coming out on Halloween of 2025. So probably by the time you listen to this, the whole season one is bingeable. You can listen to the whole thing.
That's very cool.
Um,
And
Also
yeah,
as well, because it's a podcast, it's on everywhere that you get your normal podcast, which is nuts to me because like I go on Spotify and then find my stuff, or I go on Audible and I find my stuff. It's also on YouTube as well.
that's right.
So
That's
yeah,
where I'm
like
listening to it. Yeah, I subscribe to your channel and I'm watching it
yeah,
through there. Yeah.
yeah. You just type in Baile and you're looking at the spelling in front of you right now. So just
Yep.
type that even into Google, and my stuff will come up anywhere.
There will be a link to your YouTube channel at the end of this,
Yes,
so people can just go into the description if you're struggling with with spelling the title, which, as you said, is on
spelling that
screen
made up word
anyway.
that I made up.
So yeah, we'll remind people again that there'll be a link in the description for your YouTube channel. And so when it comes to this project, what were your biggest influences? Is there anything in
Um,
particular you were watching or listening and go that just sparked something that led to this?
There was because every episode is a short story that I never got to publish, and a lot of the times what it is I was watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and the maker of it, the one of she says one of the things you have to do is you have to find gaps and fill those gaps, right?
Mm,
So in terms of storytelling, like for example, this isn't in the season, but if you had the amnesia trope, the only thing you could possibly do that's different to all the other amnesia tropes is have them not remember ever again. And I tried to do that with every single story. So even as well, I'd be watching, say, horror. I was watching this Asian horror called Urban Myths,
right.
and it was terrible. It was so bad because in my mind, I was trying to work out what they were going to do, and then my ideas were actually better than they did. So I'm like, make a story out of it now, and I did that instead. Um, I try as best as I can to make a different story from the ones you know. So I have a vampire a woman who falls in love with a vampire, and I try to do something different with that. I have one where death takes a holiday, and I try to do something a little different with that.
Mm.
And I'm getting inspired by regular stories that we all know and love, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell something different. It might not be better or worse, but it will be something you haven't heard before, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Yeah, just on that point, like I always say, one good writing exercise I always recommend to people is when you watch something and it is terrible, like you said, try and think what would you have done to make it better? Where would you have made things go? And I find that's a really good way, just flexing your writing muscle, kind of
Mm.
taking something, improving it, shaping it into something good. So I would recommend people do more of that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you can do this better, especially in media today. Like media today is feels a lot like a cash grab, and
Oh yeah,
with AI as well, there's no thought or soul put into much.
yeah.
And we have thoughts and souls, so like let's put them into
Well, I for one am all for our AI overlords. So Jacob's views do
it.
not represent mine. um, what's your favorite episode you've done so far? Is the one in particular that you're just really really proud of?
Oh God, I don't know.
It's like pick.
Um,
It's like picking your favorite child, I'd imagine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And not only that, but they're all part of the one story.
Yeah,
Um, like the one overarching thing. I would say the one you haven't heard yet. So like, you know, anything from what's coming next. I absolutely love that to bits. But you won't hear that until God knows when, you know.
yeah,
It's like you asking a writer what's his favorite book, and he says the next one, you know.
yeah.
That's my
That's all. It's
answer.
always the new thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because as well, like when I was making that series, I was very sick. So I had to like generate the energy to record all this. And a lot of the times it was recorded on the same days I'd be going into hospital because I knew I'd be spending all my energy that day. So
Right.
like because like that season is the best ability that I could have given at that time. The next season I am in perfect health, which
Right.
means things are going to be 10 times better.
Yeah.
You don't even know. Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for people to hear it.
I've been there myself where you're kind of working on a project and you're not in the best state to do your like to your maximum potential. And it does
Yeah.
suck, but you just have to try and make sure it's at least good enough to get out there and then just make the next thing
Mm.
make
Yeah.
the next thing super duper freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What's your writing process like? Do you outline much or do you kind of just have a rough idea of what you're going to do and then just kind of start going on it?
I sort of word vomit onto a page and just write all the ideas out in their messiest, nastiest forms and just put them in one large Word document. And then after that, I start chipping away. I'm going, okay, can we make that an episode? Can we make that an episode? And then once we whittle that down to episodes, I realize that all the episodes are garbage, so I have to make them better. And then when the episodes are better, I'm like, okay, now you need to do it better again. And then I keep whittling down. And I think that is the best way because you're like the main thing about writing is make sure that you write better than you used to. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
second draft will always be better than the first, but you
yeah.
have to get the first out.
Yeah, I
Um,
always say to people like, because I used to be like this, don't stress about your first draft being perfect. Your first draft should be just for your eyes only, and just create like the skeleton of your story. I feel like because I used to just fixate on every word, every sentence being fucking perfect from the start, but I find I work much better when my first draft is just really really rough. Like it's not something I'd ever show anyone, and then
yeah.
the second one is just adding more to it, fixing it up, and then the third draft is basically like just cleaning it up as much as possible. And then if I need to do a fourth one, usually three drafts does it for me. Sometimes four. I feel like if you do too many, you're gonna get sick of your own project.
I mean, yeah, I like that has happened to me.
Yeah,
And there has been days where I'm like, I'm done listening to this. I don't like this. Get away from me. But
yeah,
like, you do find that nexus point where you get a law of diminishing returns. There is a point where you're doing more harm than good.
yeah.
But starting out, because nobody's good at anything on their first try. Even if they've been writing for 20 years, the next thing they're writing is not going to be perfect the first try.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
do another try. That's the main thing.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm.
So when did you start writing in general? Because I before this project you were writing. Um, when did the whole thing begin for you?
96. And
Oh wow,
I haven't really stopped since.
yeah.
Um,
And what sparked it off
I,
for you? What made you decide this writing thing is something I'm gonna try?
I think I had an idea where I wanted to do superheroes. And I said, "Oh, this would be cool." And then like there's like 28 different copybooks with different like stories in the same world and stuff like that. And by then I'm like, I can't stop. Like there's nothing I could do now to stop me. Like if I never published anything again or never created another podcast again, I would still be writing. You know
I'm
what I
like that
mean?
as well. Yeah, I it's something that's so ingrained in me now that I would just write for fun. I would put together a novel just for the fun of it, even if I never sold a copy ever again. You know?
Yeah. And I think a big thing that when I started out, because I was very, very young, but nobody, and even up until my teenagers, nobody told me what I wasn't able to do. So I did it.
Right.
Now, a lot of this was to my detriment. Like I remember going to my first open mic night thinking my stuff was, you know, um, for public viewing, and it wasn't. It was absolute garbage. And I remember I was looking over some of the earlier stories that I had written, and they're absolute trash. And my father would go, "No, you keep writing, you keep doing it. It sounds like you've got a great idea." And because of that, I kept doing it. And when you're a kid, you don't do anything for the end result. You do it because it's fun.
Mm.
Nowadays, you're doing stuff. and a lot of people would back out of things because they're not good at it right away. When you're a kid, you don't care about that, you know. Um, my brother made a comic of stick figures called Guy with a Gun. Best comic he's ever done. Great. He had so much fun doing it, you know? Um, and that wasn't for public consumption. That was a kid having fun. And because of that, I started out not trying to be good, trying to have fun. And then when I put in my hours, and I did calculate this, I have put definitely over 10,000 hours into this.
Wow, very
Um,
cool.
you eventually get to a point where you're good, you know?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's like any skill, as you say, you're not going to start off great, but like, because I teach martial arts, and one thing I say to them is you have to allow yourself to be terrible for a while.
yeah.
And writing's just like that. Writing is a skill. It's like, it's something you need to get good at. And I'm always giving myself writing exercises to try and make sure I stay sharp. We obviously do a lot of writing analysis on this channel, which I think is a good way of flexing that muscle as well. I recommend more people do that. If you can break down why something's good or bad, that's just an invaluable skill.
Absolutely, yeah. Every time I've been asked for writing advice, the first thing is start. Don't worry about what happens afterward. Just do it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the first step is just getting those words down. I've had days where,
Yeah.
when I was, early on, and you'd get up and you'd be tired and you'd be unmotivated and you feel like crap about your skills, and it's like
Mhm.
you just got to sit down and start putting words down until till it all starts coming together, and then you'll get into a routine, you'll build up confidence, all that kind of stuff. And if
Yeah.
you do love writing and you practice and you study, I don't hear people talk about
Yes.
studying writing enough. You need to study it. It's a skill you need to cultivate by studying, analyzing, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
And being open to being wrong as well. You need
Oh,
other
100%.
people to tell you why your stuff doesn't work.
That's why
Yeah.
I love having Nicola edit my books, because she's just really good at it, and she'll be brutally honest. Like early on, she'd read some of
Neat.
my stuff and she'd just make it clear that she doesn't think it's that good, and
Yeah.
that leads to you just going, okay, I really want to impress my girlfriend, so I'm going to try harder. No, but yeah,
Does this mean if I want to write good, I have to impress your girlfriend as well?
but you need that brutal honesty. I've had people asking, can they show me their stuff? And they clearly just want me to say, oh yeah, this is really good. They don't actually want honest feedback.
Yeah, I'm always wary of that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, don't show someone with that in mind. Like I always say to Nicola, like, just tear it apart for me. I want it to
Yeah.
be the best story it can be. She'll sometimes point out things in the plot I didn't notice, where it's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't actually make that much sense.
Mm,
I'm very character focused, so sometimes I like maybe miss something in the plot that I just didn't notice. So she's very good at that kind of thing.
mhm.
But yeah, try and get people to give you actual, like, I hate this thing of it depends on how you go about it, but I hate this thing of like thinking that criticism is negative. Like, think of all the things you've gotten good at and how many times people had to tell you you're not good at this bit yet, you're not good at that bit yet, that needs to improve, this is bad because of this. You need it to improve, so it just doesn't do anyone any favors by just going, oh yeah, yeah, that's good, and then just moving on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, try and help them out, and maybe you're wrong with your feedback, but at least you're trying to be constructive.
Exactly, yeah. Um,
Do you have
because yeah,
editors or anyone that you kind of give it to put their eyes on it, or is this a whole one
I
man
just have
show?
a close circle of people who like I can trust them to not just go, "Oh yeah, no, it's good," but for them to explain why it's good or
Yeah,
explain why it's bad. And with those people I keep around, I'm like, "Hey, I send you something," you know.
yeah,
Although it's gotten really hard now because a lot of my friends listen to Baile and Gótrin, so I don't send them it. But, like, I do send other people, or, like, if I'm not happy for some reason with it, at the moment I'm doing an episode, and I've been over it for the last couple of weeks nonstop because it's not being right, and I've had to take out things, and I literally had to take out the main character of the episode because it just didn't work. It's
right,
meant now I have no character in that episode, so I had to redo it again and again and again. But yeah, people around me, um, who I can trust to be brutally honest with me, I use them and send them like garbage, which gets better, you know?
Exactly. And like sometimes they might give you a note and you disagree with it, but then that just reinforces in your head, okay, I feel strongly that this way is correct. You
Mm,
know, it forces you to think about it and make you think, do I really think this is a good way to go? It might be yes, it might be no, but just them forcing you to think about it is always a good thing.
yeah.
Um,
I also send it to people for things that I wouldn't understand. So say
yeah,
in this season there is a trans character. I am not trans myself, and thus I had to get a consultant on board
yeah,
just to go. I need this to be an authentic experience for somebody in a community that I'm not part of. I'm an ally, but like, you know,
yeah,
and so they went over this and went over this, and they said these lines need to change because it sounds a little bit, you know, and all that. And they did. They helped me, and now it's a beautiful, beautiful piece.
yeah. Is that the episode called Symmetry?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, I just started that. I had to cut it short because I was getting ready to set all this up, but I look forward to
Mm.
going back to it.
Um,
How,
but like
so,
even to the point where like now because I got a consultant on that episode, the character in that episode is the person's favorite character. You know,
yeah,
loads of people's favorite character for some reason. Not for some reason. I know exactly why, but
yeah,
you know, and that's what critique, that's what having people around, that's what sending it off will do, you know, it will
yeah.
make
And
it that good.
if they didn't give you those criticisms, it wouldn't be where it is now.
Absolutely not, yeah.
So, Baile na Gótrin, am I saying that right? How exactly do you
No,
pronounce it? My pronunciation,
Gótrin.
Gótrin.
Baile na Gótrin.
Gótrin. Cool.
Yeah.
It is such a cool title. I like it.
Mm.
So it's short stories, but it's all one overarching story. Also, is that correct?
No, what I mean is, there like every episode is a short story that I've written, but now I've changed it and repurposed it, so now it's just an event in this town.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha.
And
So
over the course of
sorry, go for it.
over the course of the episodes, like strange things would happen, but also as well at the end of every episode, there's these lights that are coming up in the creek, and they're getting more and more concerning as time goes on. So that's the overarching plot in the beginning, anyways.
Yeah. So how far in advance do you plan? Like, do you know what if you're just have finished, we'll say episode 4? Do you know how episode 10 is going to go already, or do you just sort of
I
wing
would
it in a way?
have, at the very least, I would have the entire season planned out.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Um, Now, when I was making this season, it was really just occupying my time, so I just squeezed in a narrative as I was doing it. But from this point on, and that season within itself, I would know a season in advance what's happening,
Yeah.
and because then I can jump ahead to a season and I can drop hints right away, and also as well I can foreshadow stuff way, 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 way later on, and it means as well that there's a re-listening kind of ability to this. Like you can go back and go, "Oh, he said that because 2 episodes later that happens,"
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like
I love that.
this is happening, but now in that season this is happening instead, and it rewards people who listen to it as well. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I love that kind of stuff where you look back on
Mm,
something and maybe it's recontextualized.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I would know at least a season in advance. Like at the moment, I'm like 2 or 3 seasons ahead. I'm not going to say I'm going to get 2 or 3 seasons. At the moment, the only thing official is that there will be another season after this one.
Very cool. I hope it goes for a while because I'm enjoying it so far. I look forward to listening to more.
I'm loving it. I'm loving making it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, just on that, when
mhm.
you're recording these, is it all just one long take
Yeah, well, yes.
or as much as
This
possible?
season, yes, because I was too sick to do ADR or re-record anything. So it was everything you're hearing was one take.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I like. I like the vibe of that. Like it feels authentic.
yeah. Um, I just didn't have the health to episode again. Um, so yeah, the entire thing is one long take. Like about 4 or 5 episodes would be done in a day, and
Savage.
then I'd literally chop down, trim the fat, make it sound nice, cut
Hmm,
out all the bits where I made mistakes, make it sound nicer, and then yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah. So, apart from this, do you have any other projects in the pipeline or any other projects you want to bring attention to that you've done already?
Um, on my Instagram, Jacob Wordsmith, I throw out poetry every so often, and I'm really actually proud of the little things that I throw out there. And
I've
a lot
seen
of
some
people
of
see,
them, yeah.
mm, I just write about anything and everything. It just, I write poetry in my spare time, so they're not in short supply. I even my documents on my computer, they're probably around 5,500, maybe 6,000 now. So like I'm not short in poetry, so I throw out some every so often, or I make funny jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's no real project at the moment because Baile na Gótrin is the next project and it is getting my undivided attention.
brilliant. Just on that as well, are there any poets that you're particularly fond of?
Roger McGough, Benjamin Zephaniah, Oscar Wilde. Ah, there's so many. I can't name them all.
Nice. So, have you been into poetry for quite some time, or is this a relatively new thing?
Yeah, to the point where, like, in my spare time, I would just write poetry from 96 onward. Well, no, from about 2001, I'd say onwards. I just write poetry in my spare time. And again, because it's a skill and because I put so many hours into it, I eventually got good at it, put into competitions, and now I've got something like 15, 16 competitions under my belt, either
Brilliant.
certificates of merit, publications, or awards, or stuff like that.
That's really
And
cool.
because of that, I just kept writing then and didn't stop.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm.
Are there any other podcasts you listen to?
Welcome to Night Vale. Alison isn't dead. Um, the Kirlian frequency is a great one. I think you can actually view that. That's a visual thing. Um, um, Bright Sessions. I should probably give a short explanation. So, Welcome to Night Vale is Baile na Gótrin in America.
Yeah.
Kirlian frequency is Baile na Gótrin in Argentina. Alice isn't dead. A woman is missing her wife and is driving a truck for a company. And as she's going across the country, she's trying to find her wife, but notices weird distortions in reality and people along the way. The Bright Sessions, if people who had superpowers were in therapy, that's a
Ah,
very good one. Wolf 359 is just people around in a spaceship orbiting the star Wolf 359, and strange stuff starts to happen after that.
they all sound very cool.
Mm.
Where do you listen to them mostly? Where's your kind of go to?
Podbay, or Audible.
Yeah,
That'd be where I listen to it, or Spotify as well. It's
yeah.
usually they're all on Spotify.
Do you get a kick out of listening to your own stuff on Spotify?
I do, I
Yeah.
do.
Do
I
you
don't know
listen
if
to them back much? I listen to mine back quite a bit to try and learn from it.
yeah, to try and learn, and also as well see what I did wrong, but also see what I did right.
Yeah.
Like episode 6, I did something really. I just timed the dialogue very well with the last song that plays on it, and that was really well. The last episode of the season, that's good, because the music isn't exactly aligned to what he's talking about, but what he's doing. Um, I really enjoyed as well. There's an episode called Darker, where the entire soundtrack to normally the soundtrack is like this sci-fi 80s retro wave thing,
Yeah.
but in the episode Darker, which is episode 15, um, the entire soundtrack changes genre,
Yeah.
um, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. And just where I say lines, how I would say them better. So, like throughout the whole thing, and I'm listening to it, I feel like I talk too fast. So I'm going to work on that in the next one.
Yeah, I did that when I first started doing all this. I would listen to stuff back and I'd be like, you do have to kind of train yourself to make sure you're pronunciating everything clearly. Like even now as I
Yeah.
talk, I'm trying to be very aware. You don't talk quite exactly like you do in real life. You're kind of pronunciating everything nice and clear,
Yes,
because it all needs to kind of show up when you're recording very clearly for people. Um,
absolutely. Like, no, not in this interview, but I have been practicing bringing my speed down to 75% because I've just done like if I bring it down, I really enjoy when people talk this slow. I enjoy how my voice acts at this speed. So
do you know
I
what?
would,
It really adds to the atmosphere. Like when you're doing your intro and you talk with that cadence and that tone, I think it's
mm,
really effective.
yeah. I enjoy my voice at that speed as well, and I'm just disappointed that that wasn't my normal pace. So I've been practicing. I've been practicing voice acting as well to get better at this, so that the next thing you listen to is even better than you had heard before. You know?
That's actually funny you should say that, because it's something I've been practicing as well, because I'm toying around with doing an audio story of some sort.
Oh,
It's been in
brilliant.
my mind for at least 5 years now, and
Okay.
I just haven't. I've always had too much on, but now that
Hmm.
this has grown, I'm like it might be a nice idea to do something like that. So sometimes I'll practice doing all kinds of voices and demonic voices and different
Yeah, yeah.
kinds of people. Is that something you toy around with? Do you ever toy around with the idea of
100%.
toying around with the idea of you like
Especially,
doing two characters at the same time talking to each other?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also as well, there isn't a lot that I can do in terms of audio effects that sound new. So yeah, I could bring the pitch down to an inhuman level and all that jazz. But because that's only going to work so far, that's like kind of Saturday morning cartoon monsters.
Yeah.
Um, I've been practicing how to say my words in such a fashion where you know this person is a monster and they sound normal, or they sound like Jerry from down the road, but you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that how they're inflecting everything is monstrous, you know?
Yes.
Um, Even at the end of the season, it wasn't how I spoke, but the words I used. There's a monster called the Trinity, and the Trinity gets some dialogue, and the words I used weren't any "I'll destroy the world" or anything like that. I looked up bigots and I looked up what they said
Mm,
because to have this monster with ultimate power going, no, 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 I'm not the bad guy. They're the ones that come in. They're the ones that try to change things. You think this too, really. You just won't admit it to yourself, you know? And
yeah.
to have this sort of normality with your monsters
It's
is
it's
insane,
oft
you
it's
know?
often more frightening, isn't it, when you're listening to a character and you're like, why did he say that way exactly?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And so, I have practiced every which way of hundreds of voices and done as many as sound manageable and practiced and practiced and practiced. And then when I got bored of it, I practiced some more. And then when I couldn't sleep, I practiced some more. And then when I was done, I practiced some more.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to. Maybe multiple characters on Baile and Gótrin at the same time.
Yes, Gótrin.
Gótrin, apologies.
Yep.
But that sounds really fun.
Hmm.
When do you plan on doing something like that?
Something like what?
Doing multiple characters at once.
Um, well, at the moment, how the show goes is because Barry Biev, the host of the radio show set in Baile na Gótrin, is talking about all of this. Um, Everything goes through a filter of him
Mm.
because obviously, if something happens in town, he's not going to bring the people in town into the station to talk about it. Not often, anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
So it all goes through a filter of him. So he has to sort of play the other characters, and because of that, there'll be a lot of impressions on Barry's part.
Yeah, 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 gotcha.
That said, there are a couple of other voices in it over the course of this season because, um, you know, it's a town full of different characters, and it was super great to kind of bring those people on because, some of them I'm like, you need to say this, this, and this, and then some of them I gave them lines and I go, oh, by the way, you're not human, so do what you can with that, and they're like, what? Um, and I enjoy like pushing myself and pushing my actors as well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah, it's always fun.
Mm.
So in terms of creating a project, Who would be your dream to collaborate with if you could just pick anyone in the world to collaborate on a project?
Oh
And
God,
in
I
what capacity?
do you know what? If I could like this is just the dream now, but if I could like collaborate with the people who make Welcome to Night Vale, and if I could like have their city or town exist in the same universe as mine, that would just make me so happy, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be so cool.
Because theirs is absolutely less grounded than mine, and it's very kind of out there stuff. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think I got 200 episodes in before I stopped listening. Um, but they do stuff where they play with different stuff like dimensions and stuff like that. So it could be possible. Not a chance though. I am one single Irish lad who has a microphone in his bedroom. It'd be nice, but I'm kind of realistic on this, you know?
Well, you never know where the future leads.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I always say dream big.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, so can you give us any teasers of what might be coming up in Baile? I'm gonna get this right. Hold on. It's all
You
my
got this.
fault. My pronunciation's terrible, especially when it comes to
So,
Irish.
first word, Baile, like
Baile
any town, right?
na
Right.
Gótrin.
Nah, Gótrin.
Gotcha.
Go Gotrin. Just make
Go
it phonetic.
Gótrin.
Gótrin.
Baile
Yeah,
na Gótrin. I got it.
there you go. Sorted.
Awesome. I knew by the end I'd have it. It only took
Yeah,
41
yeah, yeah.
minutes, but I have it. So, is there any teasers you can give us of what's coming up?
I absolutely cannot. But if you, well, actually, hold on. No, the last episode is coming out on Halloween. That's all the teasers you need. Yeah, that's absolutely all you need.
Oh, very
Um,
cool. I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, so
yeah, I can't really.
no weird
No, okay.
little hints.
Um, no.
Jacob, give me my exclusive.
um,
I'm shaking him by the neck. Give me. I'm kidding. Don't give away anything you don't want to.
okay, hold on. No, 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 no. The next season is not called season two.
All right, log that in your brain,
Uh,
folks.
I don't think I could say anything else after that.
Right. Speaking of Halloween, are you a big Halloween guy?
Absolutely, love it to bits.
I love Halloween so much. I love it over Christmas. I do like aspects of Christmas, but I just love Halloween. I love.
I thought when you said you love it over Christmas, you're like, you love doing Halloween over Christmas. I'm like, are you gonna be that guy? Like, hey, everybody, I'm just gonna wear a costume while we're like setting fire to the pudding and stuff like that.
I guess that'd be Jack Skeleton, right?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
skeleton dressed as Santa.
yeah. I just got
No.
this image of like you in this like skull of a deer and a cloak while everybody's singing like Christmas carols around this like burning pudding.
Well, you know what they say: dress for the job you want. So do you? Every year I put together a Halloween list. So it's stuff I
Mhm.
want to sit down and get through. Do you do the same? Do you put together a list of horror movies you want to get through?
I wish I did because I just haven't had the time this Halloween,
Yeah.
which is
Oh well, don't
I
get me
like
wrong. My list this year is quite short, but at least it's a list.
yeah.
It still counts.
Um Also as well, I get easily scared at stuff like especially horror games. To the point where like my friends will actually watch me play them because they find it absolutely hilarious when I like jump out of my skin. Um But yeah, no, there's been some that I wanted to watch and I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah. Could you
Um,
ever imagine Baile na Gótrin? Gótrin?
yeah,
I
and
keep adding
Gotram.
a like a the H in there where there is none. Do you
Everybody
ever?
in the comments, tell them how to do it right. Balya and Gotram.
Yes. Write it in the comments 7 times so that I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
just learn it over and over again. Um, could you ever imagine this as a live action film or TV series?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's just the amount of money, people, and equipment that I would need is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a great listen for Halloween. It's an absolute great listen for Halloween.
I agree, and
Um,
I mean that like totally sincerely. I listened to the first 2 episodes, and I think the tone is just perfect for sitting
mm,
down, nice cup of tea on a spooky evening, and just listening to it.
absolutely. Also, as well, when I was making it, I was like, I've got phobias, and my friends have phobias. why would I like keep that to myself when I can share them all with you? And then you have these phobias,
Yeah.
and then you're frightened as well.
I did that exact thing. I was like, when I started writing horror, I was like, what would scare the shit out of me? Or what really gets under my skin? One was spiders, so I started writing a story about a giant man spider, and there's loads of little spider
Oh yeah,
minions, and they take over
absolutely.
a house, and I'm like, it's freaking me out writing this, but that can only be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And I even had to
Um.
Google like, do spiders blink, which was very
Oh wow, Jesus.
yeah, and I did not like some of the images that popped up, but I just had no idea. Like, do they blink, or what's the
Yeah.
crack with their eyes? But
Um. Vampires pop up prominently in Baile and Gótrin, and
oh, very
I'm
cool.
petrified of them. Petrified of them.
You were saying this
Um.
in our last interview. Vampires are a big thing for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Also, I have this weird, I don't know if it has a name or something, but I have this absolute terror of like I'm watching the TV and the news guy or like a cartoon and they stop and they look at the camera and they go, Jake, Jake,
Hmm.
we've been watching you. Freaks me the fuck out. Nah,
So you
I'm
must,
moving away. But because
you must
that
hate that.
was like a phobia of mine,
Yeah.
I then went, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if that happened? How would that work? And how does it end? And stuff like that." And then I had a friend call me after that episode, and they're like, "Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I was fine not being afraid of that, but now I listen to your episode and fuck you."
That's hilarious. But there you go.
Which is
Again, it's
imagine
like
drama,
another.
like people
It's like
dropping off after 19 seconds, or the hate comments, or like don't, or like I got a voice note of like there's a character called Fanula Longheart,
what a
and
cool
she
name.
keeps almost turning up. And eventually, I got a call from a friend of mine going, "If Fanula Longheart doesn't turn up in this episode, Jake, I am going to be furious with you."
That's cool. That's great. I mean, what better feedback, right?
Yeah. Fuck you, you talented fuck. That's I have gotten that line before. Like I have gotten that line from somebody in tears, you know?
Yeah, awesome. So, thanks a million for this, Jacob. This has been a lot of fun. It's been great hearing more about your show and your process, and I'm like
Mm.
genuinely looking forward to listening to more episodes. As I said earlier, they're not very long, so give it a go. See what you think. Let us know in the
Yeah,
comments if you watched one and tried it out, and if you have any feedback for Jacob, put them in the comments or send him a message. Get in touch with him, and
yeah,
if you have enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below Baile and Gótrin so that I can just
yeah.
read it over
And
and
you
over.
got it!
Yeah.
That's your redemption arc now.
Do you know what
That's
it was?
the end of that now.
Do you know what it was? I had it in my head 5 minutes ago. I'm going to end on saying it perfectly,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think
Just
the
don't
reason
say
it
it again
worked
now
out is
because you
because
got it. If you screw it up now, we're gonna have to keep talking for another hour. Like,
I think the reason I got it is because I just did not think about it too hard, and it just came out.
yeah, yeah. Every other time, like when you're nervous about getting it right, like
Oh yeah, like my pronunciations are awful with stuff like
if it makes you feel any better, you're not the first person. You're not even the first interviewer who has difficulty with this made-up name.
yeah.
it's okay as well because it is made up.
There you go. I think it's going to be one of the trademarks of the show. Is like people pronounce it wrong, having a laugh about it, and it'll be like, "That's that show with
That
that.
I know.
That's that show with the name I keep getting wrong." Or people,
You know
yeah,
what?
yeah,
If
that
I
one.
thought about that before, I would have a running gag where every like other guest that I have on the show says the name of the town wrong. Oh, that would have been so funny.
Wouldn't that be cool? Little
Anyway,
like running gag.
I wish I thought of that. Oh well,
Yeah. From now on, though, I'm just going to call it being a G,
being a G, yeah.
just for the rest.
That's
Just
actually
in.
what it's called in my documents because I'm not writing Polly and the Gojin every single
Yeah,
time. Like,
exactly.
but if you're worried about the name, I say it at very least twice in every episode. So it's 17 episodes. That's 20, 34.
Do you know what? I,
So
I don't actually think it is that difficult. I think I just had trouble with it for whatever fucking reason.
and
So
that's
Jacob,
okay.
where can people follow you and your work?
So if you, I'm Jacob Wordsmith on WordPress. I'm Jacob Wordsmith on TikTok. I'm Jacob Wordsmith on Instagram. You know what? Instagram is the place where I'm having fun the most,
Yeah,
and Facebook, which is also Jacob Wordsmith. I'm pretty much that name everywhere.
yeah. And if you want to follow me, it's at Stephen Carey Stories. And there will be a link in the description to Jacob's YouTube channel where you can watch all the episodes. And I highly suggest you do. If you like your horror and you like stuff like Jacob has mentioned at the start, then I think you will have a blast listening to this. So watch it and let Jacob know what you thought of it, and give him a follow, give him a subscribe, give him a like, help
All of
him
the things.
grow. He's putting a lot of
Yeah,
work into this. So go into the link in the description and click his YouTube channel and give a like and a subscribe. All right. Thanks a million again, Jacob. Look forward to having you back on
right.
again at some stage.
Great. Can't wait.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back again next week with something or other. We're not too sure yet. Cheers, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye bye.